Okay, so I guess I'm live. I don't know, y'all. This is my first time ever doing this, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So, like literally, I am just winging this. And I guess y'all are just going to have to wing it with me. We're going to have to figure this out together. Hey, somebody. This is my first time ever doing this, so y'all just got to bear with me. I just wanted to get on here today. Hey. Hey, Mike. Hey, Tammy. Oh, Deja's saying hi. Okay, so I was saying this is my first time ever doing this Facebook Live stuff, so bear with me. I have no idea what I'm doing. What I do know is that I wanted to get on here today and just, Deja, chill, and just share some inspirations on this fine Sunday and have more of an interactive approach to, like I always make the videos and stuff, but I wanted to have more of an interactive approach with y'all, and if y'all have any questions, that way I can answer them and stuff. And so I'm just winging it. We're going to figure it out together. What I wanted to talk about today was some good old self-love and how to do that. I just want to share like my journey with it. Self-love is something that is, it's the one thing that's very fulfilling. We look for things in external stuff all the time to fill that void and to feel fulfilled. And that stuff is just not lasting. That's why we always want more and more of it. And the only thing that really ever truly fills that void is self-love and having that relationship with yourself where you are loving and kind to yourself. Now, for me, that was a tough thing to figure out how to do. Hey, MJ. And so over the past year, I figured out, well, no, let me backtrack. So for a long time, you know, I was like, okay, so I know that I need to love myself, and I feel like I am loving myself, but I still was not feeling fulfilled. And so I finally came to understand that there's so much more that goes into loving yourself than just, you know, like eating right or working out or, you know, doing several things that consist of loving yourself. What I found works the very, very best for me and was the most effective is having that parent-child relationship with myself. So we all have that inner child, that little inner us that's sitting there chilling and is just wanting to be loved. That's the part of ourselves that longs for some type of fulfillment, some type of joy. And, you know, as people and as parents, majority of us are so nurturing to everybody around us. As a mom, I am so nurturing to Aiden, and it was actually Aiden that helped me, my son, that helped me understand. Nicole, hey David, hey Travis. Oh, this is so cool. I wish I would have done this a long time ago. Anyway, so Aiden was actually my son was actually very instrumental in helping me understand what true self-love is. And it's because I started noticing how I am so kind to him and I'm so protective of him and I stand up for him like nobody messes with him ever. And so I've started to learn that the same way that I stand up for him and love him and nurture him and protect him, that is how I need to start being with myself. That's what true self-love is not letting people walk all over you and letting people use you and abuse you. It's speaking up for yourself and standing up for yourself, and that's hard to do a lot of times. That's very hard to do. We kind of grow up with that kind of, figuratively speaking, being beaten out of us. Like, we're not to question what our parents say. We're not to question what the teachers say. We're just supposed to do what we're told and this and this. And so that kind of drowns out of us the ability to truly love ourselves. because we start living for other people and doing what everybody else wants us to do instead of honoring ourselves. So what I have found to be really, really helpful as far as self-love goes and truly, truly loving myself is I started having this parent-child relationship. I started seeing it from that perspective. So say, for example, that a situation would occur where somebody mistreated me in some kind of way. I had to take a step back and think, okay, if someone was treating Aiden this way, if this exact same situation was happening to Aiden and somebody was doing this to him, like what would I do in that situation? And the answer was always clear. I'd stand up for him. I'd speak up for him. I damn sure wouldn't be letting him get treated that way. And so that was always then the very clear answer of what I was meant to do for myself to honor and love myself in that situation. And so it made my decisions clear. It made my choices of what I needed to do so much clearer, because for a very long time I was very confused as to, I want to always, I want to do the right things and I want to do the kind things and I don't want to get into petty little situations. I just want to do the loving and honoring thing. And so when I started having that kind of a relationship with myself, where it was like a parent-child relationship, those choices started becoming so much clearer as far as what I am meant to do in every situation that would be the self-loving decision to do. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. It's all well and good to speak loving, self-loving affirmations and to, make sure that your thought life is positive. And that's great, because that's what I was about for a very, very long time. It was like, think positive, think positive. Don't let shit get to you. Just think positive and everything's going to be all right. And that's great. But your actions have to also match what you're thinking to be true about yourself. So if you say all day long, I am awesome, I'm smart, whatever the positive things are, self-loving things are. If you say those things all day long, but then you're in a relationship where you're letting somebody walk all over you consistently, day after day, or mistreat you or abuse you, then those actions are not in line with self-loving beliefs at all. What you're actually saying about yourself to the universe is that by accepting this type of behavior, you're saying to the universe that this is the type of behavior that you deserve because you're accepting it for yourself. So real, true self-love begins by not accepting mistreatment from people around you. Start detoxing your life. You need to detox your life from people who mistreat you. People who talk down to you, and people who just make you feel bad. Like, let your feelings be your guide in those situations. If you're around people who just constantly take from you all the time and never give nothing in return, those are energy suckers. Like, you don't need those people around your life. And I'm not saying go ahead and just get rid of everybody in your life, but start making your boundaries clear. Sometimes it's even applies to people we love very, very much, like our family, or, a very important relationship in your life. You have to make those boundaries clear of what you will and will not accept. And sometimes that means making those boundaries clear to yourself first. Like, do you know what your boundaries are? Sometimes it means getting clear on those first before you can even extend those to anybody else. But get clear on your boundaries, what you deserve, what you will and will not accept. Like, what are your deal breakers? And then it is your responsibility to communicate those boundaries to all of your loved ones, to everybody that you interact with. You need to communicate those boundaries. You can't expect people to know what you're thinking or what you need. You need to communicate that. So that's your responsibility. But once you've communicated those boundaries and you've made very clear that you will not accept, criticism of any kind, or abuse, or talking down to, or anything like that, whatever it is, then if that person continues to cross those boundaries and not honor those boundaries, well then, you need to start kind of removing them from your life. And you have the right to do that. A lot of times we feel obligated to stay in relationships, and especially a lot of family dynamics, we feel obligated because they're blood to stay in these abusive situations. But that's, you have an obligation to yourself to love yourself enough to let that which is not good for you, that which does not serve you, go. And you can do that from a place of love. So that's a truly self-loving, making a truly self-loving decision when you make decisions from a place of love. So it's not from a place of spite. It's not from a place like, oh, I'm going to get that. It's not that, okay? It is like, I love myself enough not to subject myself anymore to this type of poison. Hey, Paul! Hey, Paulie! Aw, I miss y'all, all you guys. Oh, I get sidetracked quick. Hold up, I'll get back to it. You do not want to subject yourself. Do you love yourself too much to subject yourself to that type of poison anymore? And because, and then understand that because you have made your boundaries clear, that is the guilt and all that stuff, that's not on you. That's on them. That's their choice. They've made that choice. They've made that decision to not honor your boundaries. And then they need to live with those consequences of not having you around them anymore. Your number one priority needs to be yourself. That is not selfish. That's loving yourself enough to take care of yourself and to honor yourself. And once you start doing that, once you start making those decisions that mimic self-love and respect and honor, then you're going to start seeing your life change drastically. You're going to start seeing people you're going to start attracting people to you that mimic those beliefs, okay? That are full of love, that are going to love you, that are going to honor you, because you are honoring and loving yourself. And it all starts from that place. Right, Deja? High five, girl. My dog agrees, y'all. So one of the best ways to understand, because it can be tough with relationships and stuff, very close people, family, and close friendships and stuff, it can be very tough to know what the right choice is to make. So what you have to do, it's like forming a habit. For a while, I don't know how many of y'all are, I think a good amount of y'all are parents, or y'all are at least very caring and nurturing and loving, and I know that, y'all are good people. So that same nurturing tendency to take care of everybody else, to make sure that everybody else is happy, to just give and give and give of yourself, to protect these people and to stand up for them, you need to return that same love to yourself, because you deserve it. And that's what's going to really fulfill your life. That's what's going to, when you start doing that, when you start making love-based decisions, so even when it comes to the food you eat, when you make love-based decisions, not fear-based decisions, then you are going to choose things because you know that they are good for you and that they're going to benefit you and make you feel good. You can't have camera time, girl. I know. Sorry, y'all. She's wanting to get in front of the camera. Anyway, when you start making love-based decisions, sorry, I can't control it. This is the thing about that live stuff. You can't control what happens. She can get up on in here, and I can't edit a thing. Anyways, sidetrack city. You distracted me, girl. So, okay, that's what I was saying. It's like forming a habit. Every time you're faced with the decision between two choices, and you're wondering which one would be the self-loving choice in this moment. Deja, please stop. I got to focus. Stop. Goodness gracious. Sorry. Okay. So it's like forming a habit. Every time that you have a choice, between two things, and you're wondering which one is the self-loving decision, ask yourself, what would I do if this situation was happening with either my child or my best friend or my mother, my father, or somebody I love very, very much? What would I do in this situation for them if this was happening to them, if they were being mistreated right now? And whatever you would do for them, because you know you'd stand up for them and you know you wouldn't subject them to that kind of crap at all, then you need to do that same stuff for yourself. That same exact decision, that same whatever it was that you were going to do, that same action, you need to promise yourself that you're going to do that for yourself, no matter how hard it is. Because it's going to be hard at first. If you're not used to standing up for yourself, and because I wasn't, I would let people walk all over me for a very long time, because I just I'd rather keep the peace. I didn't want to deal, because I would always be the one left with the frustrating feelings, and I didn't want that. But I wasn't honoring myself whenever I was doing that. I wasn't loving myself, and I wasn't being true to myself either. So getting in that habit of, and you can create a habit in 19 to 21 days. You create a habit. You do it for so long, then you create a habit. So if you start doing this for 19 to 21 days, seeing just looking at it from a perspective of what would you do if this was happening to somebody you love, and then making the choice for yourself that is in accordance with that choice that you would have made for that person you love, then you'll start creating that habit of loving yourself and making self-loving decisions. Now, another thing about, and it will get easier and easier, over time, the more that you do it. If you wouldn't let your friend or your child get treated like crap, then you shouldn't accept that for yourself either. And you don't have to. You have the right to stand up for yourself, and you have the right to surround yourself with people who love you, respect you, and honor you. You have that right. And then people have their right to make whatever decisions they want to make. They have the right to not honor your boundaries. And then they have the right to be removed. Period. So, another thing is, so how I was talking about earlier, how there's a little inner child in all of us, and that little inner child has majority of the time learned a very flawed way of love, depending on how you grew up, what you were subjected to, and whatnot. But majority of us have learned a very, very flawed way of love. And that little child is still in there, and that little child still believes that flawed way of love is what love is all about. And that's where you create situations around you that mimic what you experience, the emotional circumstances that you experienced as a child. That's why you recreate those kind of things, because you think that that's what love is. So that's why having a parent-child relationship with yourself is so effective, because you literally are reteaching yourself what love really is. You have to get rid of that garbage that you learned of the flawed form of love, and you have to reteach yourself what that little child, from a parent point of view, you have to teach that little child what love truly is. And you do that by making love-based decisions day after day, all day long. Repeating it over and over again. That's how you teach yourself what love really is. And it's like you have to kind of hit a reset button and unteach all of this flawed crap that was learned and reteach what true love is. But the only person that can teach you that is you. That's why self-love is so important. And that's why it's so true that it's the only thing that will ever truly fulfill you, because you are that parent self of you. You got the child, the little inner child, and you got the parent self of you. That parent is the one that has to teach your beautiful little inner child what love really is, so that you can start creating that in your life and calling that into your life. So I have found that the hand over heart method is very, very effective, and that's what I have all my clients do. It's what I've done, and since I've started doing it, it's really helped me so much. And what it is just basically when you are having a moment where you're feeling scared, or you're feeling demeaned or talked down to or not good enough, that's that little inner child inside of you that feels that way, and that feels scared, and that feels like it's not good enough, and that it cannot accomplish whatever it is, or that it has to be perfect, and all of those things. That when you have those feelings, that's your little inner child making you aware that those feelings are there, and that's what you're feeling. Goodness gracious. Anyway, and so what you do is, your parent self, I call it the parent self, because it's your conscious self. That's the adult you. That's the one that understands everything now, and is like, okay, I got to do and do and do, and I just need to get over it. Why am I even worried about it? Get over it. Stop being. So that we have this inner dialogue with ourselves that we've learned of, shut up, just get over it. Like, what the crap is wrong with you? Why don't you get over it already and just do it? And that is just such an awful, awful dialogue to have with yourself, with that little inner child. So what I've learned to do with the hand over heart method is to really start recreating a better dialogue within myself. And what I do is I just put my hand over my heart, and when I start feeling that anxiety or that depression or that loneliness or that frustration or that hurt or that fear, I just literally put my hand over my heart. And it may seem corny, and that's fine, but I promise you that it works. And you can do it in the privacy of your own home when nobody else is watching, and I promise you it's totally fine. You just literally talk to yourself and tell your little inner child what it is that it would need to hear in order to be comforted. Like, so I would say to myself, I know you're scared right now. I completely understand that you are scared, but it's okay. I'm here with you. I'm going to protect you. I'm never going to let anybody walk all over you again. I'm going to stand up for you, and we're going to get through this together. And I promise you, as crazy as it sounds, and y'all can say whatever you want, as crazy as it sounds, you will literally start feeling your anxiety level go down. And you'll start feeling a peace come over you that takes away all of that anxiety and all that fear. And it just calms and settles it down. What you are doing is you are reteaching that little child what true unconditional love is. And I have found this to be, after years and years and years, and I mean years of a journey of self-love and trying to love myself and learning how to do it, I have learned this has been the most effective way that I have found that it really makes a huge difference to start recreating that inner dialogue. You got to change it. There's inner dialogue in there that's not healthy. Start paying attention to your thoughts. Start paying attention to what you're saying to yourself, like in the moments. We are so hard on ourselves, y'all. So hard. We are the most understanding and kind, nurturing people to everybody around us, but to ourselves, we are not. And that needs to change. That's part of the self-loving process, is understanding yourself and accepting yourself and being kind to yourself, and not being so dang hard on yourself and expecting yourself to be perfect all the time. That's not reality. You're never going to be perfect, ever. So just letting go of that false premise will take you far to begin with. But so basically, I have all of my clients do the hand over heart method. I have all of my clients meditate or pray or whatever it is that speaks to you, whatever gets you, just focusing on your breathing. That helps a ton. And just relaxing every muscle in your body. That's it. You don't need to try to quiet your mind. We'll do another live video on meditation and stuff and all the different ways that you can do, that you can love yourself. I just wanted to share the hand over heart method with you guys today, and having that parent-child relationship with yourself, because it is the most effective way to truly love yourself. Because then from that space, all of your decision making will start becoming clear. Okay? You'll know exactly what to do, because before I was always so conflicted, like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Am I just being stubborn right now? Like, what what should I do in this situation? And I never knew. But when I started having this relationship with myself, the same motherly love that I give to Aiden, the mama bear that comes out for Aiden, when I started letting her come out for me, everything started changing. People that didn't no longer serve me, they were removed from my life. The people that are coming into my life, they respect me. They honor me because I respect myself and I honor myself, and I've made those decisions. It wasn't easy at all, but actions speak louder than words. You can say things all day long, but if your actions are not in line with what you're saying or what you're believing, then you're wasting your time. Those actions have to match. So start taking inventory of the people in your life. Start taking inventory of who is leeching and sucking you dry and just using you for everything that you have. And what can they get from you? But when it comes time for you to need something, they're nowhere to be found. Get those people out of your life. You deserve better than that. Would you accept someone like that for your child or for your best friend? You wouldn't. Don't accept anything less for yourself. And know that you have the right to get whoever it is. I don't care who they are to you. I don't care if it's your mother or your father. And I know that that sounds harsh, okay? But again, let me remind you that if you have communicated your boundaries very, very clear, if you have made your boundaries very, very clear to someone, I don't care who it is. If they don't honor those boundaries, then they can go. Because you deserve people around you that are going to honor your boundaries. You should not subject yourself to people who make you feel bad. Why would you want to do that? You know, you deserve better than that. So you have the right to get people out of your life that are causing you to feel, or that are not honoring your boundaries and abusing you, in whether it's mental, physical, emotional, whatever. You know, you really want to surround yourself with people who honor you, who respect you. But it starts by you respecting yourself and loving yourself. It really does. There's so many addictions and so many things we chase in the external world that we're looking to fill that void with. And it's never going to do it. Only self-love can do it. Only operating from that place of only accepting for yourself the things that are good for you and that honor you and that respect you in every single thing, in everything that you do. Only accept that. And you will see your life change. Big time. Because you deserve to be loved. You deserve the same love that you give everybody else around you all the time. Because y'all are some good people. Y'all are some really, really good people with good hearts, big hearts, good parents, good friends, good brothers, good sisters, you know, good everything. You deserve that same love that you're giving to everybody else. You deserve to give that to yourself. So I give you full permission to love yourself to the fullest. You'll start seeing a difference in your life, big time. Because that whole thing, it will start flowing out into other areas of your lives. It'll start flowing out into your nutrition. It'll start flowing out into your workout routine, because you're going to start feeling inspired. You're going to start feeling good. You're going to start feeling like you deserve to feel good, and you deserve to do nice things for yourself. And you do. So start doing that. Start using the hand over heart method to teach that little inner you, whoever that little girl or dude is. Start teaching them what love really is. You have to undo all of the flawed versions of love that we've learned. And it really makes a lot of sense when you think about it like that. That's why having that parent-child relationship with yourself is so effective. It's because you have to unteach all that flawed stuff and reteach what love really, really is. And the only person that can do that is you. That's the only person. So get to loving yourself, y'all. That's, I think, all I have for today. I don't know. This is my first thing. I have no idea still what I'm doing. I think it went all right. Hopefully y'all got something good out of this. if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm still running my special up until January 31st to get 4 life coaching sessions for $100, which is 50% off. They're usually $50 an hour. So that special is good through January 31st. And you can get it straight from my website, which there's a link on my page. And I'll post another link, repost the special and everything here shortly. And I think that's it. I don't know. Thanks to you guys who tuned in. Thank you, Polly. Thank you, Cody. Hey, Robbie. Oh. Thank you, Nicole. Aw, I love y'all. Y'all are so sweet. Hope y'all got something good out of this, and I will be back on here. I'm hoping to do these little self-love Sundays. Sometimes they might be self-love Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. I don't know because my schedule is crazy right now. Everything's going good here with the music. But so I'm going to get it when I can. I am trying to work out the kinks and everything. This is my first time doing this, so practice makes perfect, and y'all are practicing with me, so I appreciate that, and I'm going to get it all worked out and get everything flowing real smooth to start doing these live videos and just start sharing insights with y'all on here that I would normally share with all my clients and stuff. I just want to help. That's all my intentions are. I am just sharing my truth, what I have learned in regards to my story, what I've learned and ways that I've found to help, my struggles. I want to share those with y'all, just in hopes that it can help you guys too. If this doesn't if this doesn't, pertain to you or speak to you, that's fine. You don't have to tune in. I'm not ever here. Hey, Gary. I'm about to get off here, Gary. I'm so sorry, but hopefully you can replay it. I'm sure. I think you'd love it. So I hope you'll watch it. But what I was saying is I'm not here to argue or convince anybody. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm simply here sharing what I have learned, what my truth is, and what has helped me along the way. That's all I'm trying to share with everybody in hopes to help y'all. So I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all really, really soon. Thank you for tuning in, and y'all have a fabulous little Sunday evening. Bye.